As I was headed to the store the next day, Brielle was on the side of the school talking to the same dude she was talking to the other day. Hey, twin, she says as I get closer. I wasn't going to stop. I didn't want to intrude on the conversation, but he speaks to me too. Hey, Summer, right? He was tall, around 6'4", light brown skin, not too skinny, but not fat or chubby either. He had a solid looking appearance. It didn't look like he worked out or anything. He kept his hair in a low cut. He dressed nicely and always had on the latest everything. I saw him around a bunch of times but never spoke to him or anyone in his crew. He had on a black North Face, black jeans, and some wheat colored Timbs. Timberland boots are a staple in New York. You had to have a pair. It was cool this morning, but you could tell it wasn't going to be a cold day. He had his scully halfway on his head. Yeah, sorry, I don't know your name, my bad. Nah, it's cool. We never spoke before. Dwayne. He extends his hand for a handshake. I shake his hand and look at Brielle. Just want to respect my girl's sister, you know? He continues. Yeah, I get it. I had to keep from laughing. This twin sister thing is really running much longer than I thought. I'm gonna let y'all finish, I say to excuse myself. I start walking down the block toward the store to meet, well, y'all know who I meet every day by now. When I get to the store, Tony is there already by herself, sitting on the crate eating a breakfast sandwich. What's up, brightness? She says as I get closer. I start laughing. You too. What? You bright. We both instantly start laughing harder. As we are waiting for Jules and them to get to the store, Fame's car pulls up. The door opens, and no matter the time of day, he was never not dressed to impress. He had on a regular all-black sweatsuit, black shirt underneath the hoodie, but he just looks clean. Ace always did too, though, and Clue. You could tell they're not low-level type niggas. Little sister, he says loud as he gets out the car and closes the door. Why you always look like you want to catch a lick? Looking this fly, baby sis. Never. Where's your man? Before I could answer what he asked, he kept on talking. And who's this? Hi, Chocolate Kiss, he says, touching her hand. Tony starts laughing but takes her hand back. Oh, feisty. Okay. He puts his hand back in his pocket. Tony picks up a hot chocolate and sips it. Grams drove you. He changes his attention back to me. No, I haven't seen him since he drove me home yesterday. I see Tony turn to look at me. Her expression is like, and where were you? I start laughing, which makes her laugh. Alright, if he's not here after school, I'll take you home. Be out front. I nod. I'm a little confused, but I'll see this through. He nods his head and walks into the store. I hear him call my name from inside the store and I poke my head in. Come here, he says. I walk into the store. I see the girl from law class with her friends. I would tell y'all her name, but I don't know it. Hey, Poppy, this my little sister Tiny. Whatever she buys, tab it for me. The older Spanish gentleman behind the counter nods his head. Summer, this is Poppy. He owns the store. If you need anything or you're in trouble, he'll get someone to contact me, okay? I was taken aback, but I didn't break character pretending he's really my brother. Okay. She goes to Flushing, Poppy. The older Spanish man nods his head again. Go to class, Summer Rayne, Fame says in an older brother tone. I laugh and say okay. I walk back out toward Tony, and it was time to walk toward the school. Jules and them weren't there yet, but with Fame there, I wouldn't imagine they were coming straight inside anyway. Tony and I start walking toward the school in mostly a stroll. As we're walking, I see Kai and his crew, as usual, late. Not that I could talk. I'm always cutting. Yo, Summer. Hey, Kai. I keep walking. Real quick, he says. I stop walking. What's up? Yo, this nigga was at the school yesterday asking about you. Huh? I replied, genuinely confused. Yeah, some brown skinned kid asking if anyone saw you, mad aggressive. I roll my eyes. He had a scar on his face. Kai looks over at Jarrell, who nods. $1.50. Nigga was asking if you had a man who you fuck with, Jarrell says. Okay, thanks. I was trying to keep my composure, but I was livid. I don't know what he doesn't understand, and to think any of this would make it better is crazy. No way. I refuse to call his house, which is exactly what he wants. I start walking with Tony toward the school again. What was that about? She questions. I stay quiet for a few seconds and take a deep breath. Tavior, I reply, really trying to keep my composure. What the fuck you do to this nigga? He's so in love with you. In love? I question back genuinely and look at her. Yeah, this nigga is doing the most because he loves you, Summer. That is obvious. I stay quiet and don't say anything. You don't think he loves you? She asks as we get closer to the building. Before I can answer, we are interrupted by Tommy shouting and breaking up a fight. Two dudes from the football team were fighting. Tim tells us to hurry up and get to class. There's a crowd of kids pushing to see the fight and others trying to get to the stairs. I make my way through the ruckus and walk up the stairs towards my class. As I stroll through the hallway to my class, it's a few other late kids making their way to class. Just as I am about to walk in, I hear my name being called. I look and it's Prince. Yo, where you was at yesterday? He sounds genuinely inquisitive. Why? I asked back dryly. Some nigga was up here asking mad questions about you. I heard. I reply in the same tone. You good? He asked, still trying to fish for some answers. I'm fine. You know if you need anything, I got you. He replies. I nod my head. Thanks. I walk into the classroom, I sit down, and just take my book out to copy the board. After school, I almost forgot about Ace or Fame being out front. I just kept thinking what Tavia is going to do if he found me. I don't care about the answers he received. No one knows my business, but more importantly, I'm not his girl for him to care who I'm talking to. He can go worry about Shorty who came out his house or anyone in Southside who wants to deal with him. Ace and Fame were in front when I walked out with Tony. Brielle and Dwayne were off to the side kissing. Out of the way, but not completely. Light skin, Ace says with a smile as I get closer. Tiny was good, Fame says and doesn't acknowledge Tony. Hey y'all, I say as I approach and give Ace a hug. He kisses my cheek. This is Tony. Tony, this is Grams and Fame. Ace looks at me shocked. I didn't use his government. She knew his name, but he didn't need to know. She knew. Tony says hi, and then not too long after we were standing there, Jules came out, and Tony excused herself to walk with them to her bus. Ace and Fame still said nothing to Jules in my presence. Not too long after Tony leaves, I get into the car with Ace. Fame never said anything to me. I am assuming since Ace is here, he will tell me in the car. Clue wasn't with Ace today, I noticed as well. Who's your friend? Ace questions as he's driving. Tony? I look over at him as he drives. He glances back. Yeah. Why? I question and continue looking at him. Just asking, he says and starts laughing. You really don't budge. I start laughing. What you mean? You can never just answer. You gotta know all the details. I laugh harder. Yes, because why? Nah, I'm just getting an idea who your peoples are, that's all. I squint and look at him in a playful way. But why, Ace? Nah, Fame asked about her this morning. Says she was a little snotty. She wasn't snotty. She just didn't care, I guess. I don't know. Tony don't really flatter niggas too much, and she has a man. Yeah, Jules, we know. I start laughing. Of course you do. So why you ask? Wanted to see what you say, he says, and we continue to drive. There was almost no one else driving, or so it seemed. The lights were all turning green pretty quickly, and my block was rapidly approaching. So homeboy came to Flushing yesterday. He asked me casually as he turns on one of the last corners to get to my house. I pause and look at him. He looks back at me waiting for an answer, no expression. I hesitate to answer because, what in the world? How did he know this? I mean, that's what I heard. I don't know if it was him, but I pause before continuing. How the hell did you find out? He starts laughing and it was a real laugh. I know everything, light skin. I stay quiet for a few seconds. So, Ace continues. I don't know. My guess would be yes, it was him. But who told you? I have eyes. So you spy on me, I say with a slight attitude. Of course, at this point, we're sitting at the top of my block. I wasn't going upstairs until I felt comfortable with the reply I was going to receive. Nah, I don't spy on you. I more make sure you okay. I roll my eyes. Nah, I'm serious. I didn't even tell him I was talking to you. It's Prince. And his mouth, how he loves to shout in the hallway, you're his cousin-in-law. My eyes in the school told me someone came asking about you is all. He more so told me to make sure it wasn't no beef I have pushing back on you. I look him in his face the whole time he's talking, looking for any hint of a lie. As far as I know, Ace hadn't lied to me yet, so I'll let this slide. I do want to find out who his eyes are. I'd say Kai, but Kai is too loud. Whoever this is moves quietly on purpose. I'll accept that answer, but don't let me find out there's something more to it, or we gonna have a problem. I don't want no beef, boss, Ace says. He pretends to be scared and hides behind his hands while peeking through his fingers. Yeah, I say while laughing. You calling me later? Yeah, around 9:30. Okay. I start to get out the car, and Ace grabs my hand to kiss it. I'm serious, no funny shit. I don't say anything, just stare at him for a minute. Okay? He questions while holding my hand. Okay. I slide my hand back. I get out the car and walk to my house. As I get upstairs, Lauren is in front of my door. I turn the small corner from the elevator to my apartment door. I jump because I didn't expect her to just be sitting on the floor in front of my door. You're like a homeless serial killer, I say as I adjust my keys to open the door. What the hell is a homeless serial killer? You are never home and move very quickly, I say. We start laughing. I'm suspended and bored. Tell me what happened at school. This is not what we are doing. Maybe you shouldn't get suspended, especially over a nigga you don't care about. Then before she could talk, I tilt my head and look at her hair. Definitely homeless. Oh, shut up, she replies while laughing. So what happened in school? She says, looking excited. I learned. She starts a fake tantrum and whines. And what else? Starts to tell her about Tavior coming to the school. Girl, this is some real hood love shit. I look at her like she has a million heads. This is not cute. This nigga fighting for his baby, she says. Anyway, I roll my eyes. Before I could finish, the phone rings. I swear, if this is Tavior, I'm going to lose it. I didn't recognize the number. Hello? Hey, can I speak to Summer, please? This is Aspen. I was a little shocked she really used my number. Hey, I say in a very embracing tone. Who the fuck is that? Lauren says with an attitude. Is now a bad time? Aspen asks. Nah, that's my best friend, Lauren says. I shake my head. Aspen laughs, but it does sound like an uneasy chuckle. Don't pay her no mind, girl. What's going on? Lauren makes a shocked face. I'ma remember that. I'm leaving. Still rude. I start laughing. I walk her to the door and continue talking to Aspen for the next 2 hours. We really got to know each other, and she's pretty cool. She was an only child. Her mom is a therapist and her dad is a prosecutor. I also found out she was adopted. She pieced it all together because only she has red hair. She started asking them questions and they finally told her. Her parents tried for 20 years to have a child, but it didn't happen. Then her birth mom couldn't take care of her. She was on drugs, but she remained mostly clean throughout her pregnancy with Aspen. Aspen was then adopted by her parents. Their favorite place to vacation is Aspen, so they named their favorite person after their favorite place. We made plans to hang out the coming weekend. Just walk around the mall, window shop, and shop for real. Clue called her while we were on the phone, so she hung up to talk to him. She really seemed to like Clue. She said she hoped there'd be more one day, but she knew it wasn't an option at the time. He was very transparent that his mother would never let her come to the house. A few minutes later, after we hung up, there's a very aggressive knock at the door. I was home alone, but I knew none of my friends would knock like this. Who? I say with an attitude. NYPD. I hear from the other side. I mouth, NYPD to myself. Who you looking for? I say from behind the closed door. We'd rather not shout it in the hallway, they say again. I'm a minor and I'm not opening the door. I see a card slide under the door. Have your parents call us, they say. I don't say anything, but pick up the card. Narcotics detective. What are they here for? Sharif finally came back home from wherever he was. He and my mother are back to their normal selves. I'm curious to what's going on, and I know they won't tell me. Maybe something happened with a patient at work and they want my mother's statement. What if Tavia got caught and told on my father? Nah, he's not that brave. Well, not enough for that. And why would they come here? What would my mother know? They haven't been together since I was like a year old. As I'm running through the different scenarios in my head, some could be movie scripts, but that's beside the point.